Hello and welcome to the Oldham Athletic Save for FM20. I'll not lie to you, I was going to call it pork pie sausage redux or pork pie sausage roll too, but decided to keep it simple. It's just the Oldham save. Two reasons for this save. The first is obviously, as mentioned in my little channel update about a month ago now, that the whole playing for set pieces idea wasn't working under the journeyman, so I needed to do it with a single club. Well, this is a single club, Oldham Athletic. Plus, I also want to achieve what I didn't manage to achieve with FM19, which is to win the Champions League with Oldham Athletic. So I got them to the Premiership and we won an FA Cup and a League Cup, but this time it's going to be different. We're going all the way to the Champions League. Okay, so as to not bury the lead, we have already completed Season 1, so this first episode is basically an introduction to the team and a Season 1 review. So we're going to start off by looking at the club, at the first team, should I say. We've played basically with 2 or 3 formations this season, but have all have been narrow, so I've kept it at this one in terms of having a look at the squad depth. One thing I will add, if you notice here, there's a couple of players that appear that won't appear in the review, and that's because they're already planning to go, and this is Desiree Segbe Azankpo. He is off at the end of the season. He's going to Trensin. I'm not even sure where they are, but he's not staying here. He hasn't had the most fantastic seasons we'll get into anyway, but as I say, when it comes to squad depth, he's not going to appear there because, like I say, he's already leaving. Same story with young Lakaviti there. That was a mistake on my part. I would have liked to have kept him on. Didn't get to his contract early enough, and sure enough, he's joining St Mirren, so he's leaving us. Bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world. In fairness, in 2019, FM 2019, that is, he played as a centre-half and played reasonably well in the Premiership as a centre-half too, so, you know, for a good 2 or 3 seasons. So, he's a good player, definitely got a future, but not with Oldham in this save. So, other than that, it's going to be the first team as we know it. So, as you can see, we're a bit weak up front at the moment. Danny Rowe, who, as you'll find out later, is our top scorer of the season. 31-year-old poacher. I think he's only been with Oldham a season. Yeah, he was brought in from Fylde in the National League. And as you can see, he's done a storming job for us. The other striker we played, and again, it was a mixture between this guy and Azankpo. This is Emmanuel Juve, or something like that. Juve. Juve. There we go. That's what it'll be. He had a couple of good games, but in fairness, we were playing for quite a while with only 1 striker up front and 5 at the back, and at one point 3 in the midfield as well. So generally, it's just been Danny Rowe up front. Behind him, we have Diego Diz. He's actually a transfer that I bought in. I only brought in 4 loan players and 2 free signings. This was one of them. He came in a little bit later on in the season. He wasn't there at the very start. I think I got him in the January transfer window. But really, we needed a decent sort of AMC that we didn't have. And sure enough, he's not done a bad job. He's not amazing, should we say. He's done all right. He's not done amazing. But he is considered a key player for our club. But I mean, when I first got him, it talked about the fact that he was, well, there you go, he's a good player for most League One sides, but it was talked that he was actually potentially a Championship player, but that appears to have gone away. I guess it depends on who's, there we go. So you got anything to say about it? Yeah, it depends on who's looking at him there, unlikely to improve. So no, he's stuck as a League One player, but that's fine. Like I say, Diego Diz, the Spaniard who came in as a shadow striker. It's the only time I've really used a shadow striker for any amount of time, and he's actually been alright. Beneath him was Roberts, who we brought in on loan. Again, older player, 36 years old. He's obviously not staying with us beyond the end of the season. Can play as a shadow striker, did play as Ngonch. Wasn't very good. So, between him and Diz, it wasn't perfect. Diz was obviously slightly better. And then we had Morais, who actually didn't play too badly in our position. He did better than either of them, but he did have some injury problems. So, and again, at 34, he's not staying with us at the end of the season either, because he's on loan from Crawley. So, that takes us down to midfield. We've got McCann. He's been ever present. He's been solid. 32-year-old central midfielder. Been playing mostly as a box-to-box midfielder, but will also play as a deep line playmaker. And he's been great. He's been solid, as you can see. 39 games, 1 sub appearances, 5 goals, 2 assists. Just shy of the 7.0 average rating. But yeah, he's been solid. He's also the top man in my training mentoring group. He is the team leader, and with the driven personality and his significant influence, it's hopefully going to help out 1 or 2 of these younger players. Right. Next to McCann, we've got Nguesson. Christian Nguesson, no less. And again, he's on loan from Burnley, so he's not going to be with us. He's obviously a development player, but he's not done bad. 21 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, 6.99 average rating. He's done okay when called upon. We also have Mauche hanging around. Mauche didn't do too badly. He got 38 games. Did quite well. Again, like I say, we were playing 3 in the middle, so he was getting more games at that point. He's obviously second choice behind McCann. Sia behind Nguesson. He actually plays better as a half-back, so he has been rotating around in that, but more often than not, he does play central midfield. But again, another player who, well, he's with us till 2021. I did sign him on for an extra season. He's down to being a fringe player rather than a squad player, but that's because, well, as you can see, 13 appearances and 13 sub-appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. 6.84 average rating isn't bad. He's more of a sub, though, more of a super sub, but good determination. And half-decent defensive skills, so he does an okay job. The only one left to mention is Mizalou, Christopher Mizalou, who, again, he's on for another year. Useful player, 26 games, 1 goal, 2 assists, 6.9 average rate. Useful player, not going to stand out, if you know what I mean. He's not a star player, but he's done alright, but he's I increased his contract, should we say. He's now a fringe player instead of a squad player, but he'd be with us till 2021 as well. Now, if we move down into defensive midfield, as you can see, there's 1 or 2 players here that have been repeated. Both Sia and Mizalou can play in that position. Giles Cope can come off the list because he's not staying either. So yeah, it's mostly been Sia or Mizalou swapping in and out with that position when we've played it, but like I say, it's quite a while there. We did have a central 3. And down to the back 4, left back, we got Borthwick, Cameron Borthwick Jackson, in fact, who is on loan from Manchester United, and he was pretty good. He's been pretty good. Again, just under that 7.0, 6.93, but he managed 32 games and 3 sub-appearances. He did get a little bit injured. Had some injury issues, shall we say. But nevertheless, did a very good job. Behind him, Dylan Fage, youth player from Oldham. He's actually... I thought he'd been with us a bit longer than that, but apparently he hasn't. He's only been with us because he was apparently at Auxerre. I may be getting him mixed up with another player. I thought he'd been with us a while. But anyway, he only managed a couple of games. He's more of a backup than a first choice. Anyway, central defence, we got Casey. Now, Casey is also one of the loans that I brought in as a central defence. We had quite a few central defenders, but most of them weren't very good. Or a little bit, you know, I'm not going to say past the best, but unreliable, shall we say. So we brought him in, and yeah, he's done a solid job. 41 games, he's pretty much been a first choice. 1 goal and 1 assist, 6.86 average rating, which, again, not bad for a young 19-year-old. He's on loan from Leeds. Wouldn't mind... Oh, look, City and Forest are trying to sign him, apparently. But yeah, wouldn't mind him staying for another season at least. We'll see how that goes, if we can extend his loan. Behind him... we have Carl Pierre Gianni, 28 years old. He's on loan from Salford, another centre-half. This guy I didn't bring in, he was brought in before me, but he's not done bad. 26 games, 2 goals, and average rating 6.82. But again, he would not be staying beyond the end of the season. And we've got Cork, Jordan Cork, another young player in our ranks. I don't know how big his future is, but he managed a sub-appearance. He's like a backup for the backups, for want of a better phrase. And then, of course, we had Jamie Stott. There's a couple of people who are not mentioned here, actually, who were obviously leaving. So, if I just... they're expiring. There we go. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're also we're just about to talk about Jamie Stott, but we're also talking about Thomas Eggert. Didn't get many games, 5, in fact, 6.65 average rating. He is leaving us at the end of the season. He's going to Dukla Prague. So good luck to him. And then obviously Jamie Stott, who I was about to go into, development player. Again, not sure how much of a future he's got. He did make 1 sub appearance, so for some reason I'm not seeing David Wheater, and I don't know why that is, because David Wheater is still with us. There we go. Let's re-add him. I don't know why he's been removed, but there he is, David Wheater. Again, he's had a fairly solid season, 40 games, 3 sub appearances, 2 goals, average rating of 6.87. Former Bolton player, joined Oldham last season, I guess. Well, 1920 season apparently then. Again, I didn't bring him in. He's been alright. He doesn't feel like a championship player though, I'll not lie to you. He was a decent enough League 2 player, but beyond that, and there's Segbe Azangpo as previously mentioned, so he's back. So you can see him. So yeah, that's where we are with the defenders. Right back, we'll finish up with Zach Mills. He's still with us. He's got a future. Unfortunately, he's the only person to get red cards this season, which was a little bit annoying. But again, he's playing close to his current ability. I think he'll be with us for another season, but outside of that, he's he's not going to be with us by the time we get to the championship. Put it that way. Behind him is Tom Hamer. Tom Hamer can also play in centre of defence, but generally plays right back. Again, not a huge future for him, I would suggest, at the club, but he might get another season here. And behind him, we have young Nathan Moore. Again, I think he's a youth player. But again, some potential and all the rest of it, but I don't think he's going to be here much more than another season. At the end of the day, he was no more than an emergency backup. So if we take a final look at goalkeepers now, Gary Woods has been our number 1 keeper the whole season. He's having a bit of a decline there, bless him. I might have a word with him about that. I can't. He's off on his holes. Anyway, so Gary Woods, again, he came in this season. I didn't sign him. This was, he was signed in real life, shall we say, formerly from Hamilton in the Ladbrokes Premiership. Hamilton Academicals. So, he's actually been good. Been very happy with him. He's got a new contract. Zeus Dulapaz, of course, is still here. He's been out on loan a bit. Again, he has some potential, but I don't think he's ever going to realise it at this club. So, again, I don't think he will be with us much longer. And behind him is Mr. Chapman. Mackenzie Chapman. Again, some potential as a goalkeeper, but I don't know. I don't really see him going very far with the club. As I say, he didn't actually get a first team appearance anyway, and he's listed as a youth player. So we'll see. We'll keep him around for a bit and try and develop him a little bit, but I don't fancy his chances of being sort of a long-term member of the squad. And that is the team. That is the first team as it stands. So if I just quickly go to the transfers and reiterate the players that I brought in, because there was a few, 4. There was a few, 4. Oliver Casey, as already mentioned, the young central defender. Wouldn't mind signing him for next season. Gary Roberts, as I told you about, the on loan AMC, who was a backup for Diego Diaz. Nathan Moore, on a free, was the right back. He's that youth player I mentioned who's probably not got much more than a season in him. We bought him again for depth. And after that, we got, of course, Diego Diaz, and as you can say, I got him in a January transfer window. And as we already mentioned, that was the 4 signings I made, but as you can see, there was a ton brought in. And there will probably be a ton gone out. As it is, there's a ton gone out anyway. Johan Branger-Engon, I actually sold him on. Nepomuceno I put out on loan, same as Kokos as well, just because I wasn't playing wingers. There wasn't really a need to have them there. I tried to sell Nepomuceno. It's not working. Nobody wants to buy him for some reason, so that's a shame. And Kokos, I didn't put him on sale. I just put him out to loan. Because again, he's got some potential. He's Vanarama national level, but apparently he's good enough to be League 2, which is not going to help us if we get promoted. I'm going to say if. So yeah, that is the squad, that is the transfers, that is where we're up to. Okay, so next we have a look at how our season did, and I will not bury the lead, but we went up as champions. 46 games, 29 won, 8 draw, 9 losses. Goal difference of plus 35 and on 95 points too, no less. So very, very strong season. We also had joint top goal scorer in the league, which of course was Danny Rowe. Gary Woods, most clean sheets out of everybody, and most player of the matches, Danny Rowe, joint with Ryan Loft from Carlisle. So yeah, we've not done too bad in those statistics. So if we actually take a look at the schedule, and we're just going to look at League 2. Pre-season was good. Pre-season is always good. It doesn't always translate though into the main season for some reason. But our first game of the season was away at Forest Green, and we did actually play 5 at the back for that game, and we won 2-0. That was Danny Rowe getting off the mark for the season. 2 goals in his first game. We followed that up by demolishing Crewe at home 5-1, again playing the 5 at the back. Goals from McCann, Azangpo, Mauche, Rowan, Borthwick, Jackson. I mean, we got a lot of goals. We weren't that dominant. We were obviously counter-attacking and not keeping possession, because obviously they had the greater possession. But they still managed 12 with 5 on to our 16 and 9, but we beat them 5-1. We made our shots count. So lovely, lovely goal. Lovely game as it was. Lovely result. We then followed out with 2 losses. 1-0 away at Bradford and 3-0 at home against Exeter, which, to be honest with you, is disappointing. As you can see, we played like absolute rubbish, and there wasn't really, even my subs didn't do a good job. So, wasn't a lot to be said for that, but Exeter just creamed us. 18 shots, 10 on target to our 4 and 3. But again, they had less possession to our more possession, because again, tried to play for possession that match, which did not work out for us. After that, we bounced back. We had a 1-0 away win over Cambridge. Danny Rowe getting the goal. And then we managed, after that, a 1-1 with Colchester. Mauche scoring just before half-time. September starts with a loss against Plymouth, 2-0. We then manage a 1-0 home win against Grimsby. Danny Rowe getting the goal, of course. And following that up with an away 2-0 win at Scunthorpe. 1 from Maurice and 1 from Danny Rowe again. Again, decent match. We played well. Fairly close on the match stats. If anything, they had slightly better of it than us, though. Again, we were playing for possession and kept that more, but we managed to get to 2 goals and they got none. So, again, cracking result. After that, we had a 1-0 home win over Morecambe. Piergiani getting his only goal of the season. Oh no, sorry, he got 2 goals. One of his own. That's his first goal of the season, we call it that. Again, off a free kick. And then we finish out September with a 1-0 loss to Carlisle away, which wasn't too surprising. Carlisle, however, they didn't do great. At the time, they were near the top, but they finished in 11th overall, so kind of disappointing. October, we beat Cheltenham at home 1-0. We beat Macclesfield at home 3-2. That was a tough old game. They went 1-0 up. We made it 1-1. We made it 2-1. They made it 2-2. And then Desiree Segbe Azangpo got the winner in the 97th minute. So, as you can see, we had slightly better of it than them. But they made their shots count. They made them count and they got their goals. So, yeah, good result. But like I say, that was an exciting game. An exciting game to be a part of. Macclesfield, in the end, finished in 22nd. So, not great for them, really. They didn't get relegated, at least. And it looks like they're a few points off the bottom spot. But nevertheless, not the best of seasons for them. Walsall, we then beat 1-0 at home. Chris McCann scoring there. And then followed that, ending up October with a 0-0 draw away at Port Vale. After that, we come into November. November was pretty solid. We beat Northampton 2-0. Own goal from Chris Lyons and a goal from Lacaviti. We lost 1-0 at Stevenage away. Again, Stevenage, not exactly strong. They had a 17th finish, so couldn't really say a lot about that. Bounced straight back with a 2-0 win over Newport. At the time, Newport were sort of towards the top of the league and doing quite well. I think in the end they finished up about mid-table. Oh no, they finished 4th. So they actually did quite well in that respect. There we go. Good lord. I'm going blind in my old age. Mansfield, we then beat away 1-0. Take us into December, Christmas time. Beat Leyton Orient 3-1. Danny Rowe and Chris McCann getting 2. Drew with Swindon 0-0. Beat Crawley at home 2-0. And then drew away with Morecambe. We struggled with our away games that month. And then won at home against Salford. Salford had a stinker of a season. 23rd. 23rd they finished. Look. That's how close they were to getting relegated, which was not what was forecast. They were actually forecast, I think, to finish top. So, taking us into January, and this is about the time that Diego Diz joined us. First game in January, we lost at home to Scunthorpe 1-0, but we bounced back with 2 away wins. The first against Cheltenham, the second against Macclesfield. Zankpo and Morais scoring against Cheltenham, and Pierre Gianni and Diza Uve getting 2. I'm glad he's leaving, I can't say his name. Carlisle, we beat them 3-2. Zach Mills, Zankpo and McCann scoring for us. And Mansfield, we beat 1-0. Philip Morais scoring a penalty on the 65 minutes. As you notice, we haven't been conceding a massive number of goals, and I think that was more the success for our season. And I mean, obviously, winning helps, but we didn't concede many goals, and I think that was a big part of why we did so well. Coming into February, Bradford City we beat 2-0 at home. Bradford City were doing quite well. In fact, they finished 2nd overall, just behind us in the automatic promotion spot. Second game away, we won at Salford 2-0. Crewe we beat 6-2, again having beaten them I think 5-1 near the start of the season. Second game, in fact. Yeah, we took it to them when we went away, 6-2. Goals from Diz, Rowe. In fact, got 4 goals from Danny Rowe. And Zankpo scored 1 as well. So yeah, 6-2 over Crewe. Poor old Crewe, I think they went down. Oh no, they didn't. They finished in 8th. It's quite a low goal difference for that area, but then they did concede 11 from us. So I can't really, say too much about that. After Crewe was Exeter. We beat them away 1-0, which was good considering we lost at home to them. And then we beat Forest Green at home 3-1. Durnley, Ngeson and Borthwick Jackson getting the goals. After that, we followed up with 2 draws. 1-1 with Leyton Orient. Zach Durnley scoring on the 82nd minute to, save it really. Oh no, it wasn't. We went 1-0 up. I thought we'd save that game. We went 1-0 up on the 82nd minute, and bearing in mind that they had been hammering us with shots. And then Keziah Sterling equalised in the 90th minute. So yeah, a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. Newport County we then played at home and drew with them this time. Into March, penultimate month of the season, we lost the first game against Crawley 2-1 away, and then managed a 1-1 at home against Swindon, of course losing against them in the previous match when we went away, Diego Diz scoring. We then went away to Walsall and won 2-1. Mohamed Mouche scoring 1, Diego Diz getting 1. Port Vale at home we drew, Zankpo scoring, and again I think that we went 1-0 up under Zankpo, and we were the stronger team, minus the possession obviously. But Victor Fernandez scored in the 91st minute to make it 1-1. So it was disappointing. I mean, we didn't play amazingly, no question about it, and if anything we were lucky to get away with it only being 1-1. But nevertheless, after that, we faced Northampton away, which we managed 1-0. Danny Rowe, of course, scoring on the 25 minutes. And then for the final month, April 2020, first game at home to Stevenage, we won 1-0. Goal from Zach Mills, literally on the 94th minute, literally at the death. And then we managed 1-0 at home to Cambridge. Danny Rowe scoring on the 49th minute. We then lost it to Colchester, 1-0. I got a funny feeling Cambridge was where we secured the title, to be fair. But anyway, lost against Colchester, managed to bounce back with a 3-1 home win against Plymouth. Goals from Diego Diz, Danny Rowe and Zach Mills. And then for our final game, we were away at Grimsby, and we got beaten 2-0. It wasn't a very good game. Zach Mills got booked. We didn't play very well. At this point, we were already going up, so I think there was a certain amount of complacency in there. And for Grimsby, I think it was all to play for, because oh no, I'm telling a lie, they're not quite as far down as I thought they were. They started off, I guess, a little bit weaker. So yeah, all in all, a very successful season in the league. If we now take a quick look at the FA Cup, that didn't go quite as well. First game, first round, was at home to Chorley, and we beat them 2-0. Goals from Mouchet and Durnley. In December, for the second round, we won away at Walsall 1-0, and that was Emmanuel scoring for us. Dizayuve. It's a hard one to say that. And then, obviously, we had the third round, which we actually beat Middlesbrough. Now, bearing in mind, Middlesbrough, 12th in the Championship. So, very, very happy with that result. That was the 3-2 goals from Danny Rowe and Azankpo. And it was Danny Rowe, really, who sealed the game for us, because we went 1-0 up. We went 2-0 up in 10 minutes. And then McNair brought one back on the 26th and then equalised on the 38th minute for half-time. And we had to wait all the way to the 72nd minute for Danny Rowe to score another. But as you can see, they had a better possession. They had more shots and more shots on target compared to us. And we still managed to win it. And that included Carl Piergiani getting sent off on the 86th minute. That was a hold on to your underwear kind of time. So yeah, that was a heck of a result. Very, very happy with that. But of course, in the fourth round, went up against Premiership side Bournemouth. Finished 7th, in fact, in the Premier. And we got hammered. Azankpo scored on the 73rd minute. That was our consolation goal, if you will. But yeah, they didn't dominate us anywhere near as closely as Middlesbrough did. But they made their shots count. 9 shots, 8 on target, and they scored 4 of them. Callum Wilson got his hat-trick, so he obviously did very, very well there. Yeah, it looks like he had a cracking season. But yeah, that was our final game. But it didn't affect, it didn't affect anything. We'd done, I think, better than I expected to. We got to the fourth round of the Cup in our first season. So if we take a look now at the Carabao Cup, not as fantastic a story in that. We lost in the first round away at Fleetwood. Fleetwood, of course, League One, finishing 13th for that season. But Zach Durnley got our consolation goal on the 65th minute. Bearing in mind, we were 2-0 down. Well, 34 minutes onwards, we were 2-0 down. They did do better than us. They got a lot more shots and all the rest of it. We didn't play awfully. There were 1 or 2 standout poor performances there, but for the most part, we did play all right. It was just unfortunate. I didn't expect to beat him, to be fair, but then I didn't expect to beat Middlesbrough. And look where that's how this game goes. And the last thing we're going to look at is the leasing.com trophy, where in the group we beat Macclesfield 1-0 away, which was great. Where did the group finish up? Yeah, we qualified to go through to the next round. Rochdale we beat at home 1-0. That's always nice to beat Rochdale anyway, as an Oldham fan. David Wheater scoring that. And then we lost against the Wolves under-23s, which was unfortunate, because I really did think we were going to win it. But yeah, they beat us 1-0. But then when it came to the Leasing.com Trophy North second round, we actually lost against Crewe. Crewe, whom we'd put 11 goals past in the league. We couldn't get past them in this competition, and ultimately they beat us on penalties. So Oliver Casey scoring very, very early, and Oliver Finney getting a penalty on the 92nd minute, and obviously taking it to penalties. So we did well, but we were let down by Dizayuve and Borthwick Jackson, who both missed penalties. So that was how we went out of that. So that's all of our competitions for the first season. We went up as champions. And that means the next time you see us, we will be in League One, Sky Bet League One. So before we finish up, we'll have a quick look at the end of season awards. Fans Player of the Season, of course, is Danny Rowe, 39% of the vote. He had a fantastic season, no question about it. Our top scorer did very, very well. Chris McCann, again, very strong player. Got in second, with Zach Mills coming in third. Our goal of the season comes from Christian Nguesson. That was against Forest Green in the February game, so we'll just have a quick look at that. As you can see, we were playing the 4-3-3 with Diz as a shadow striker. Durnley didn't really like it up front, to be fair, but never mind. Any minute now, here we go. So Nguesson intercepts the pass, comes on a run, gets in the box, First time shot, boom. Lovely, lovely goal. Lovely solo goal, put it that way. And obviously contributed to our overall 3-1 win. So, nice goal, that nice solo effort. Signing of the season, Diego Diz on the free. Yeah, well, very happy with Diego Diz and how he did for the most part. Took him a while to get going though, and it took a while to sort of notice him during the match. Sometimes he just would disappear. It was almost like he wasn't on the pitch. But signing of the season, no less. And young player of the season, Christian Nguesen. So after that, we got the season review. FA Cup, we lost against Bournemouth, as you know. Carabao Cup, we lost in the first round against Fleetwood, as you know. We won League 2 and lost in the Northern Section second round against Crewe in the Leasing.com trophy. So, as you can see, we were pretty solid. Lowest we've been this season was sort of 9th, which was early on, but we certainly settled in. And I would say the last third, so probably even almost the last half of the season, we just stayed top the whole time, so that was pretty good. But our match of the season was 3-0 against Macclesfield away, and the moment to forget was the 3-0 loss against Exeter. One of those things. So yeah, average attendance 39% full. That's not very good, is it? 5,401, and a total of 27 plays, which is joint 10th highest in League 2. So we didn't rotate a massive amount, but then we didn't have a lot of squad depth. So it is what it is. These are just the club vision for next season. Fight against relegation, so we'll see how that goes. And obviously, that's our dynamics as they stand, and I will pop in just quickly to have a look at that. As you can see, team cohesion's good. Dressing room atmosphere is good, although it's had a slight drop since everybody's gone on holiday. And obviously, they all love me because I got them promoted. In fact, I think... Whoops. What am I looking for here? Club vision. There we go. If we have a look at my performance, very happy. B overall. Happy with the victory over Cambridge. Happy with the positive atmosphere. Weren't happy with Oliver Case's recent performances, which 6.7, 6.5, 5.9, 6.9. Yeah, I can kind of see what you mean. Was the end of the season, and I wasn't paying that much attention, I'll not lie to you. Club vision, very happy with that. Pleased with the progress towards the overall vision. And also recognise the improvements made to the club's stature. Pleased with the results team are getting on the pitch in terms of the match transfer. Board were happier, I think, than the fans. They were satisfied. Tactics. Yeah. Oh, I see. Particularly concerned about the lack of entertaining football in recent matches. Ooh. Well, that is what it is. And then finally, the squad. The board are very pleased to see that you have a strong backing and support from the players. A-. So yeah, very happy with that. My job is safe. We've gone up. It's just a matter of now spending the close season to rebuild and keep us in League 1. As far as the league tables are concerned, and we'll just have a little look. From League 2, Morecambe got relegated, and obviously we've gone up with Bradford and Leyton Orient, and the playoffs have not been played yet. We'll see who goes up from there. Sky Bet League 1. If we have a look at the league table, we can see that Rotherham went up as champions, with Blackpool getting promoted automatically. Oxford and Sunderland still in the playoffs, but relegated are Bristol Rovers, Tranmere and Southend. If we pop up now to the Sky Bet Championship and take a quick look at the league table there. Huddersfield have gone up as champions, with Fulham getting promoted as well. In the playoffs, West Brom, Millwall, Bristol City and Forest, so it would be interesting to see who goes up there. But relegated are Blackburn, Preston and Wigan. But yeah, Blackburn going down to League 1 is that's disappointing for them, definitely. And finally, the Premier League. It has actually been won by Manchester City. I don't think all the games are played here for some reason, but I'm pretty sure that City won it in the end. But anyway, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, that's your top 6. Everton down in 10th. But getting relegated are Watford, Brighton and Norwich. Kind of surprised Norwich are going straight down, but they are. So that is what is happening in the British Premier League. And as you can see, Manchester City are keeping hold of everything. Moving forward, I'll show you where the tactics are at the moment. I've been playing towards the end of the season and what I'm also planning for next season is to move over to the 4-4-2. This is an incomplete set of tactics because I'm going to have players to sign during the close season, but I want to transition over to a 4-4-2. I'm looking to basically play the same 4-4-2 I've been using with Lillestrøm, just because I love the way it plays and I love the results we get from it when everybody plays well. So I'm going to try and emulate that here at Oldham. It also seems to work quite well for the set piece element as well. In fact, we should probably have a look at how we did for set pieces. Yeah, so if we look at goals from corners, Newport are top with 13, but Oldham managed 10 goals from corners. Direct free kicks, we didn't manage any, but indirect free kicks, we managed 8. So again, only the first season, but it's already starting to take shape, if you know what I mean. We didn't do too badly. Obviously, as mentioned, we do have a set of training schedules that I've put together, which is using the playing for set pieces. These are probably going to develop and change over time because, like I say, I haven't really had the opportunity to try them long term. But in terms of how people have developed, including in the youth team, as you can see, we've got some decent performers, shall we say. So we'll see how it goes. The other thing is I've also really gotten into the development centre, which I've never bothered with before, and I'm looking at players and training them to fit my formation and stuff like that, even if I'm not necessarily going to be keeping these players. It's more of anything else to get into the habit. So I've gone in, I've set up their individual trainings, I've been looking at player traits where it's a good idea, if you know what I mean, and adding those. So it's a full-on proper development right from League 2 upwards. Obviously it's not really going to count as much until we get to the Premiership, but like I say, good habits to get into. And I think that's it. I think that's everything I have to show you. This is probably going to be quite a long video for the first one, but that is Season 1 of Oldham. We are champions of League 2, and we are going to be playing next season in Sky Bet League 1. I've been avoiding relegation. If you enjoyed that, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.